And this is on the dating app OkCupid. And it's measuring female recipients versus male recipients. So you'll see the male recipients line on the very bottom there. And so basically what you have is most attractive men are getting about the same messages as the medium attractiveness woman there, it looks like. And then the most attractive women are just getting flooded of messages. And then I think, is there one more, Chris? One more chart? Can you scroll out on this one? So this is, again, from OkCupid. And this is, I guess, a study that they had done. I'm not sure the year on it, but how men rate women versus how women rate men on OkCupid. And you'll see that there's a pretty even distribution there on the top. So the top one is how men rate women, and the bottom one is how women rate men. So that's an interesting one. Would you guys agree, like, of the guys that you see on dating apps, like, vast majority of the men you do not think are attractive? We'll start with Coco.
I've never used a dating app genuinely. I've made a dating app for a pineapple once.
What's a pineapple?
An actual pineapple.
Like a dating app for a pineapple.
Like I literally put the profile picture as a pineapple. I've just never taken that seriously, so I wouldn't know.
Samantha?
Yeah, I feel like I haven't been too serious on them, but I do feel like majority wouldn't be people that I would be dating. Not majority, but I don't know. I think Hinge is actually pretty good, I think. But when I did the Facebook dating app, that was not great.
Facebook isn't.
I thought you were going to say good.
I mean, it is good because it's a bigger pool, but it's not good because it's a lot to filter through, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think you know what you're looking for, so it just depends on what kind of people are on each different app, because I think Tinder has a certain sort of user pool, and Bumble and Hinge are a little more serious. I forget what the initial question was again, but what was the question?
The dating apps.
The chart that we saw,
yeah.
Of the men that you see on dating apps.
Oh, right, the ratings.
What percentage of men would you say you swipe left on versus you swipe right? That's another way to...
Very, very low.
Okay.
Very low. Mm-hmm. And that's just personal preference, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Okay. Big D?
Yeah, I definitely swipe left way more than swiping right. And I think that is one thing I realized about dating apps is that you just you look at the pictures mostly, and if you're not attracted to them physically, you're gonna swipe left. Whereas people that I've met in person, and I definitely would say I'm more of friends to dating rather than strangers to dating, I would prefer friends to dating. And so people that I meet in person, if they're not as attractive but their personality makes up for it, I think it can definitely make someone look way more attractive. And that's the thing about dating sites. I feel like you just base it off of physical traits first, and you kind of miss out on the ones that are maybe not as attractive but has a golden personality.
Got it. So as far as kind of bringing this back to one of the initial questions is who's having more sex, men or women? My take would be, my take is that I think it's women who are having more sex than men. There's that graph there. I think it's harder for men to get sex. And one thing you can look at that I think kind of would suggest that this is the case, if guys were getting more consistent sex, they probably wouldn't feel the need to go to the strip club. They wouldn't need to pay for OnlyFans, for porn, all this stuff.
I totally disagree with you.
You disagree. That's totally fine. Feel free to disagree. I'm happy to hear your take. What do you disagree on?
I think people supporting sex work is totally different from them actually having sex with a partner, if that makes sense.
So I'm not saying that a man can't consume can't consume porn or can't go to the strip club and also be sexually active. But what I'm saying is that these things would be in much less demand if I think men were having more sex or had an easier time getting sex. Because if you were just having sex, I mean, not to say that people don't watch porn guys don't watch porn if they're dating a girl, but I think it would be much further reduced, especially OnlyFans. You can disagree.
I totally disagree.
Feel free to disagree. If you think...
I think I watch more porn now that I'm in a relationship and like than I did when I wasn't in one.
Well, is that because of the sex strike, though?
No.
'Cause of the sex strike? Yeah.
I just think discovering like people putting content out there and they're like looking to make a living off of it. They're looking to like gain an audience off of like their bodies is like totally acceptable, and I think it should be supported by anyone regardless of like if you're having sex with someone or not. Like I think sex work is super important.
Well, I'm not saying that sex work is bad. I'm just saying that men wouldn't turn to it to going to strip clubs, paying for porn, paying for OnlyFans if they had more access to sex. Because one of the things that, are you familiar with OnlyFans?
Yes, of course.
Do you have one or?
Not on my, no, I don't stream.
Okay. So one of the, I think, components of OnlyFans is guys who maybe they can't get a girlfriend, they can't get a relationship. They turn to that because there is a component of OnlyFans, which it's not just about the nude photos, but it's the interaction. And a lot of guys don't have that interaction. And, we had some strippers on last show. 2 of the girls were strippers. And, they report that a lot of guys come, and it's not even so much about a physical thing. It's about they want to talk. They want to have a conversation. They want to have a connection, even if, no, it's serious. It's legit. I mean, you can laugh, but like me personally, I don't really go to strip clubs. I went like twice a decade ago out of curiosity, but there are guys that will go to strip clubs to try to have a connection with a woman because they either don't have it in real, not all guys. There's certainly guys that are married, they go to strip clubs, whatever. But there are those guys that seek out, they want that connection with a woman and they go to a strip club to get it. It might not be the best way to do it, but
I mean, yeah, maybe some people go for that. I don't know. Maybe I don't know enough guys to have any opinion. Someone said, "Ooh, L for boyfriend." Actually, it's definitely a win for him. So you can shut the fuck up.
But so I guess like what specifically do you disagree with?
I mean, I think I've already said it. Like, I think it's a whole. I mean, I guess, yeah, people are looking for connections, but it's also sort of like an art. Maybe as a woman, I understand it a little bit better than, like, the way that we're, like, showing off our body. Like, I don't know. I don't have an opinion, I guess.
No, by the way, if any of you disagree with anything I say, I'm not going to be offended. I think it's totally okay to
I guess I can't
him.
predict if like men were getting more sex, if like there would be less men going to strip clubs. Like, I guess.
Well, can I ask a question? Has any girl at this table ever paid for porn? Coco?
Paid for porn?
Paid for porn?
No.
Including OnlyFans?
Oh, yes.
You've paid for OnlyFans?
Yes.
A girl's OnlyFans or a guy's OnlyFans?
A girl's OnlyFans.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So I would say that as far as it relates to sex work, since we're kind of on that topic, Brian Cap, I saw him at the strip club last week.
Stop the cap.
No, yeah, I not a fan of strip clubs. By the way, Will Smith, where's your buddy Bill Gates? Last show, you and Bill Gates were getting into it, so maybe, I don't know, maybe he's somewhere else.